Hi everybody, welcome to episode 11 of the Wednesday Weekly on YouTube. In this episode we're going to look at 5 of the best secondary or companion characters in video games. Now as you know, in a video game you're always playing as the lead character and occasionally you get to play as a secondary or companion character, but not always, but they're still always there. And sometimes they are just absolutely brilliant at what they do and quite humorous as well sometimes. Let's get started with number 1. Number 1 is Elena Fisher from Uncharted. Now, to be honest, I was stuck between Elena and Sully when I was putting this list together. I went with Elena in the end because over the course of the games, you get to see the will they, won't they relationship between Nathan and Elena. And you don't need to try and figure out the backstory. It's not necessary between Nathan and Sully, but you don't need to know the backstory between Nathan and Elena because there isn't one. You're finding it out, their story that is, as they go along. She's also quite funny at times. I liked in the first game, after they leave her on the dock, Nathan rounds a corner after running away from the bad guys and gets a punch from Elena. She's quite funny actually. And there are just all humour, there's more humorous moments in Uncharted 2 when Chloe meets Elena. And Elena goes, "Oh, I'm Elena Fisher, last year's model." That was quite funny as well. She's just really cool. Initially she's all kind of like, "Oh, I've got to record this on my camera. I've got to do all of this stuff." And that was me holding a camera, by the way. And then eventually she does drop the camera. She leaves it, and then she'll start firing guns with you at the bad guys. She's just a really cool character, and she's in the 4 main games. Because she's not in Golden Abyss, which is on the Vita, because that obviously is a prequel, it's set before. But she's in the 4 main games, and it's really cool to see their relationship progress as it goes on, and the humour does continue throughout all the 4 games. Moving on to number 2, number 2 is Alfred Pennyworth from Batman. Alfred has been around for as long as Batman because he is Bruce Wayne's butler. He's also kind of Batman's... maybe his sense, because he tries to make Batman and Bruce Wayne see sense sometimes. He's always there to help him out and always offer advice. He's always willing to, patch him up, fix his suits, whatever. And he's just really, really cool. There's been so many different interpretations, obviously, of Alfred throughout the different mediums. And, like Batman with Rocksteady, I think Rocksteady did a really good job, and he's always just in the ear, kind of making Batman think about what he's doing a little bit. May not be the best time to be thinking about it while you're doing it, but he's always there just to offer advice or something. Be careful, Master Bruce, because this could be very dangerous for you. Obviously it's dangerous, you're fighting like Scarecrow and Joker and stuff. But he's absolutely brilliant, and they pull some of the humour in as well, which I think was vital. Number 3 on the list is Dog from Fallout 4. I've got 2 dogs myself. I really love dogs. So to have a companion that is a dog in a video game, for me, was just really cool. And Dog actually goes and attacks your enemies, even if you don't want to, which I found quite funny sometimes, because I'm kind of, preparing for the battle that's about to happen to some of these raiders, and then Dog just runs off and bites one of them on the arm. Then you have to go in and attack. But he's always with you, he's always by your side. And he can carry stuff for you. I don't know where exactly, because he doesn't carry a pack or anything, but he will carry some stuff for you if your load is too heavy. Which is actually really cool. And when you first get to... I can't remember the town, but the first town out of your little street, Dog actually picks up the laser musket and you have to swap with it. It took me ages to figure out where this thing was because I was following the pointer on the map, and it turns out it was Dog, and you trade it back into you, and then you can go around and kill the bad guys. But it's just really cool to see, and he'll do pretty much whatever you tell him because he's a really good obedient dog. My 2 could learn a lesson from him. Number 4 on the list is Ellie from The Last of Us. Not the first time Ellie will appear on the list. I don't think it's the last either. And to be honest, it's not the last time The Last of Us will appear on the list either. I don't. Do I need to go into Ellie's backstory? She's the teenage girl that Joel had to transport across America because she's going to save the human race with the little biological thing that's in her mind that can take out the fungus that's destroyed humanity. Oh, look at that, I did it. Across the course of the game, she kind of brings a sort of innocence to the game, I think. That kind of ebbs away a little bit when she starts killing people, but it's necessary. And I mentioned in a couple of episodes ago, there's a bit where you get to play as Ellie, and it just makes you kind of feel more for the character. It's just really cool that they've done it, and I think having her as a secondary character and a companion character makes you care a little bit more, because you don't want her to die, obviously, because one, you would fail the game if she did, and two, who wants to see your companion get killed, because then you've got to go and travel by yourself. I mean, can you imagine Doctor Who going with, well, he does, I suppose, but can you imagine watching Doctor Who with no companion in it? That would just be weird. So, you know, you wanted to survive and you wanted to live. I'm not going to ruin the ending, but it was a really touching ending. Hopefully you get to play as Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2, so it'd be fun to see how Naughty Dog have made her into a lead character, if that's what happens. And number 5 on the list is Q from James Bond. James Bond 2 weeks in a row. There you go, guys. Now, obviously, I know that there are more films than games, and Q is more a film character because he wasn't in the last few games. But he has been in games, and honestly, without him, I think James Bond would be dead. Quite simply, because Q gives him his guns, his gadgets, his cars, you name it, he gets it from Q. Even his flight tickets in some cases. So it's really he's a really important secondary character. If he counts as a second, maybe he's like a tertiary character. Maybe he just crept into this list because he works for MI6. He just used some Q branch mind-bending technology to put himself in. I don't know. But without him, Bond would be lost. And there's always some kind of sarcastic or funny comment that adds humour to the games and the films. Games more, because we're a gaming blog. It's just really cool. And when whoever makes a new James Bond game, because I don't believe there's one in the works currently, they need to put Q back in with the humour, with the sarcasm, with the please try and return this equipment in one piece, because it would be absolutely amazing to see. Please. And that was 5 of the best secondary or companion characters in video games. If I've missed your favourite, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a future episode. And you can always read the written blog at thewednesdayweeklies.wordpress.com. I've been Kieran, you've been you, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you soon.